Shola and Festus were the kind of couple people envied, a pair so deeply in love it felt as though the heavens had specially written their story. Their bond was undeniable, like two halves of the same soul finally reunited. But their joy quickly became a battlefield when both families opposed their union. "You will not marry that girl, Festus," his father thundered, striking his cane against the tiled floor in frustration. "She's from the wrong tribe. Her people do not respect our ways." Festus stood firm, his voice trembling but steady. "I love her, Baba. She is all that matters to me." On the other side of town, Shola was waging her own war. Her mother's shrill voice echoed through their small home. "Shola, you will not disgrace this family. That man has nothing to offer you. Love won't put food on the table when hunger strikes." "Mama, please," Shola begged, her tear-streaked face a portrait of desperation. "He's all I want. He makes me happy. Can't you see?" But no amount of pleading softened the hearts of their families. Defying tradition, insults, and threats, Shola and Festus stood their ground. They eventually married in a simple yet heartfelt ceremony, their love carrying them through. The first few years were blissful. Their laughter filled their modest home, and their love only deepened. But happiness began to slip through their fingers when Shola struggled to conceive. The first miscarriage broke her heart. The second shattered her spirit. Whispers started circulating in Festus' family. "She's cursed," some murmured. The harshest words came from Festus' mother. "Shola," she spat one evening, her voice sharp as a blade. "What kind of woman eats her own children? You're killing my grandchildren, one by one." Shola fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "Mama, please. I want children too. Do you think I enjoy this pain?" Festus, her husband, held her hand tightly. "Ignore them, Shola. We'll figure this out together." Years passed, and hope dimmed, but they didn't give up. They sought help everywhere: hospitals, traditional healers, prayer houses, but nothing came out of it. Eventually, they gave up seeking for solutions after 15 years, finally accepting their fate of being childless, when suddenly a miracle happened. They were directed to a small church in a distant neighborhood. There, an elderly man prayed fervently over Shola, laying hands on her with deep conviction. Weeks later, she conceived. It felt surreal. Shola couldn't believe she was going to nurse a child after 15 years of waiting, but it was happening, and she was deeply grateful. 9 months later, Shola gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. They named her Ife, their love, their light, their joy. "She's our blessing," Festus declared proudly at the naming ceremony, his voice choked with emotion. "Our joy has finally come." Ife grew into a brilliant child. By the age of 4, she could read and write fluently, impressing everyone who met her. She was the pride of her parents and the darling of the community. Parents would often point to her as an example for their children. But life has a cruel way of testing even the strongest hearts.